mantra, a living triple entendre. We don't follow the trends, we invent and redefine genres. Pride and egos is the realest. Global, not local.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? It doesn't get any better than this.
Oh man.
We got Gary Neal Jr. in the house. This guy is CEO, entrepreneur, prolific writer. I would say most importantly, an inspiration to many. And for those that don't know his story, you will be truly inspired.
Survived it, and then I went on to the Army after the 4 years of the Marines.
So, yeah, you were stationed in South Korea, and also during 9/11, the Pentagon.
Yeah, definitely.
Now let me ask you this: what is your opinion, on how the country should go about preventing terrorist attacks like we had, during 9/11, which was so unfortunate? How do we go about preventing that from ever happening again in the magnitude that it did?
This is a difficult question, answer, and statement, because like the average person doesn't realize that the United States is always under this threat. So it's not like hey, it just happens. This is something that happens daily, probably thousands of times a day. You don't know what threat is going to be credible. So the thing is, it sucks. You could be as proactive as you can, but realistically, you're going to be reactive in a sense, if that makes sense. Because think about it. No one thought before 9/11. So September 10th, no one ever thought that someone would use a plane as a weapon.
Gary served his country by first joining the United States Marine Corps and then later the U.S. Army. He had the opportunity to see many parts of the world, being stationed also in Afghanistan and South Korea. After his discharge, he returned to Afghanistan as a civilian contractor. His travels have taken him as far as Paris, Germany, Austria, also Morocco, and Africa.
Summer 2017, some real significant things start happening with you. You start your brand. Tell us a little bit about that brand that gets branded.
All right, so being overseas, I lost so much time with my kids, and I figured the best way to connect and to actually, build that bridge to them is to create a brand, because at that point, not only do you understand, you can see what I'm doing, but it speaks for itself. You see the work it's put in, and then I can create that legacy. So that was the whole thing. So after that, I came up with Pride and Egos. And what I did with Pride and Egos is I really started it on their birthday. So then that way it all ties in. So no matter what, whether I'm there, not there, when they see the history and everything, they'll understand that they were never really far from my mind, no matter where I was.
People representing individuality, diversity, and equality. Everybody got our own story. I thought that was like the most creative. So the name of the brand is Pride and Egos. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. That is some cool. Oh man, that's nice.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gear that you got there. Pride and Egos. And look, he's got the book. I mean, this guy. Come on, you don't have to tell this guy. This guy knows how to brand, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, definitely.
How did you come up with this acronym for Pride and Egos?
Man, well, with so many different things, because you get pride and you get ego, but people tend to look at it in a negative connotation aspect. So it's like you want to flip it, right? I'm a Leo, so it's a lion, pride of lions, and then you still, and even with the characteristics of a Leo, you think about pride and the ego. So all those things combined, and then I want to make it super inclusive to everybody. So like even with the clothing, I want to make it to where it's not so flamboyant and so faddish that if you wear something from us 5 years down the line, no one would even know it was 5 years old, because I want to be timeless.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah.
In 2017, Gary's dreams, inspirations, and ideas became a reality when he created his clothing brand called Pride and Egos as a dedication and legacy for his children. The name Pride and Egos is an acronym standing for people representing individuality, diversity, and equality. Everybody got our own story. This brand was inspired to be clothing that people could wear every day, a timeless classic, clothing and accessories for the whole family, styles designed for every occasion, and designed to be worn any time of the year. The Pride and Egos brand offers something for everyone. The Pride and Egos brand is a quickly emerging style, a purpose and a cause for all people.
Something else that was kind of cool we did. I don't know if you can see.
That's nice. Tribute to Nip.
That's it. We did a hat for him. We sent it off. Hopefully got to the family. Book bags.
I love that. Love that.
We do it all. We do it all. This is a special limited edition. This is hand drawn.
I love that. Look at that. Shout out to Calvin Broadus.
That's it. And it's my homegirl out by LaDonna. So LaDonna Obi, she did the drawing. Amazing person. I'm gonna try to get you guys connected soon.
Wow.
Here's the limited edition Leatherman. So you get the nice good Leatherman.
Isn't that nice?
And then the windbreaker. Yeah, so we do a little bit of everything.
Yes. It's done. It's done. This is awesome.
Here are a few notable people that have been seen repping the Pride and Egos brand. Jamal Brown, R&B singer and model. Delson Holloway, Vice President of Dawn Diva magazine. Charlene Pearson, known as Miss Juicy, actress, TV and radio personality. Latrice Delgado McCone, Mrs. Detroit Continental Worldwide, also founder of Detroit Fashion Community and a mental health advocate. Anthony McKinley, known as Scruncho, actor and comedian. Tabitha Duncan, Tabitha Cut Clothes, singer and songwriter. Luke Steven, writer, producer, and filmmaker. And here's a shout out from Yandy Smith, film producer and reality TV star.
But before I leave this airport, I do not want to miss the opportunity to tell you guys to support this amazing Black business. First of all, I want to say congratulations on your book, A Healthy Slice of Pie, Food for Thought. And then also I want to tell you congratulations on the boutique in Baltimore. You guys make sure you go support this business. Make sure you support Pride and Egos. Gary, you're doing your thing, and we really appreciate you. We really appreciate you out here holding it down. Okay, see you guys soon.
But let's get into the book a little bit now, because you're such a prolific writer and you got all these wonderful products. Let's talk about the books a little bit.
Okay, sweet. The book, I based it off of pi. I don't know if you guys are all really tapped and are familiar with the mathematical standard for the circumference, solving the circumference of a circle. So the thing about pi that's so interesting to me is that it's used to solve the circumference of a circle, no matter how big or how small that circle is. But what's crazy about it is it's the only number that we know that doesn't exist, it doesn't repeat, and it doesn't end. So it's still a question, but it's used to solve other questions, no matter how big or how small those questions are. And the only thing that's like that is people. Because everybody is incomplete, but the more we tap in with each other, the more complete we become.
Wow.
So, and that's the basis of the book. So it teaches critical thinking and stuff like that, but it's all kind of structured like if you're familiar with the 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, you know it.
Greene.
Absolutely.
So the same way he breaks down the story, I'll break down a story, and then I reinforce that message that I'm trying to convey with something actually that happened in my life. So now you're like, okay, now I can understand, because sometimes we'll hear something, but we don't know how it applies to us. So
That's
now
right.
I give you the GPS coordinates to life.
Whoa.
And
Look
you
at
don't
this
have
guy. I love this guy.
and you don't have to, with that, you don't have to try to search for stuff. We're gonna bring you right there, and you don't have to go through it. So what's the best thing? The difference between being smart and a genius sometimes is timing. But the other thing is being smart, I could go through something and learn, but it's even smarter or more genius to look at someone else who messed it up and learn from them and not have to experience it.
Right.
So yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm learning right now. You got me learning, man. You got me learning. I got my notes right here.
Hey, I can't wait.
I'm telling you, it's so exciting. And the way that you're breaking down the story with the whole pie thing, that we're all incomplete, and that if we tap in, we learn as we go through life, by tapping in with others. It's so true, because on this show that you're on, this is what I do. I'm tapping in.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm tapping into Gary Neal Jr. And look, Gary, we got to go back to the documentary, man. It was great talking to you, but I got some more to tell the audience about you.
The Pride and Egos brand is a style that's for all people. There is so much thought and consideration that goes into each piece that's designed. And there is no greater reward for a designer than to see people wear their clothing. Here are more fans from around the world repping the Pride and Egos brand. How will you represent the Pride and Egos brand? Scan the QR code and begin your journey today.
There it is.
Now, from being in the streets to protecting our country, which I'm talking about you, sir, to now being a successful entrepreneur, what's one thing you wish you would have known? What's one thing that you wish that you would have known that you know now?
Man, it's still a learning process. Everything, you know, all the connections, all the people. Life is about connections. No matter if it's a business, if it's
Bottom line.
Yeah, romantic connection, friendship, or whatever. It's always about connecting. A company is trying to connect with its potential customers. You know, you may want to connect with Nia Long because you think she's beautiful. You know, it's all that stuff. So you never discard or discount any relationships. And it's just going to be a continuous grind. You know, even when you get to the top, you think about it. Let's say a Jay-Z. Jay-Z still is looking out there for talent.
Yeah.
Because the more that he builds upon that, it furthers his legacy also.
Right.
So it's a symbiotic relationship, you know? So, yeah.
So this is something that's, I mean, you're constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
And just knowing what you just said, I guess, is what you didn't know then?
Yeah, you kind of know, but you don't really get the depth of it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, like you'll know something, but you're like, dang, this is really how it happens. You know, you're one incident or one situation from either building up your reputation or tearing it down. Like it takes a whole lifetime to build up your reputation, and it takes a split second to totally throw it away.
It's so true. Now I got a fun question. Let's lighten the mood up a little bit.
Okay.
Do you believe that extraterrestrial activity exists, and have you seen any evidence of it?
Man, to be honest with you, it's a good question because I think that it would be highly egotistical of human beings to think that we're the only entities out here. You know, I haven't seen any existence of it and all that other stuff for evidence. But at the same time, I would say there's so much stuff that we don't know that, like, how can we for sure say, hey, nah, this doesn't happen or this doesn't happen? So yeah, definitely. I think that that's a high possibility.
Yeah, and you know, I got to ask that question because you know you were close to the Pentagon and you know all these things that you hear,
Yeah.
and as they're having these shows, and you know a lot of things being top secret, and
Mhm.
maybe if you were around that kind of stuff, you
Mm.
know, maybe your curiosity might have led you to some smoke, which would necessarily lead you to some fire.
Yeah, well, what's crazy is if you really look at even human beings, like there's some people who are so brilliant, you're like, how, like, why would you know this?
Right. That's
You know what
deep.
I'm saying? Like, why would you know? Like, if you look at Tesla, Tesla was doing, I want to say, like wireless power. Like, what? Like, like, why would you know this way? Like, you're thinking this is something from the Jetsons. This guy's been doing
Right.
this for a long time, you know. So like people like that, you don't know why. And that kind of goes into the book. Like my book kind of, you know, opens it up to say, hey, maybe there's things that we can't explain. Same thing like when we talk about God. We talk about God, we can't explain it,
Right.
right? We talk about science and they can't explain it. But keep in mind, both things were here before any of us.
That's
So
right.
are we talking about two separate entities or one entity that's one and the same?
Mm, good question. You might have, you might have to take my seat for a little bit. That was a good one.
Hey, I'm learning from the best. I'm learning from the best.
Hey, before we end this documentary, I am so excited. Pride and Ego's Clothesline has partnered with us, little old us, the Mental Margarita Show. And we got something that's going to be absolutely fantastic for the city of Las Vegas. And that is a billboard of moi and Jersey Doll and Pride and Egos all coming together. And you know what? It's unbelievable. Yo, this has been a really crazy journey. And this journey has been fantastic, meeting inspiring artists, community leaders, local business owners. We're just trying to create that synergy in Las Vegas. And what a perfect way to end it with an exclamation point.
How do they reach you, Gary?
You can reach me at pride_egos, which is EGOOS at Instagram, or you can email me at grr719@gmail. And if you DM me in there, any of that other stuff, I'll be sure to answer.
You heard it, guys. You heard it. Gary, we got to bring you out to Vegas soon.
Can't wait. I love Vegas.
We got to tap into Vegas, right?
Definitely.
That'll be fun. We'll have some good time, and maybe I'll get some of the gear too so I can wear. And look, I just want to let you know that I am proud of you. I'm sure your father is proud of you. And for you to go through all those obstacles and to be where you are now, I mean, it puts a smile on my face, and I'm sure everybody that's listening to the story. It's pleasure talking to you, my brother.
The Pride and Egos line of athletic wear is a brand that tells a story about people representing individuality, diversity, equality. Everybody's got our own story. What's your story? You are not alone. There is hope, and there is help for everyone. Join the many others who have found the path to healing. Echoes in Healing is an organization that aims to create a safe space for healing, growth, and empowerment. Scan the QR code and begin your healing journey today.
Pride and egos is the realest. Pride and egos is the realest. Pride and egos, it isn't just a brand, it's a walking and breathing mantra, a living triple entendre. We don't follow the trends, we invent and redefine genres. Pride and egos is the realest. Global, not local. Global, not local. Pride and egos is egos. Realest. Pride and egos. Pride and egos is the realest. Pride and egos is the realest. Pride and egos, it isn't just a brand, it's a walking and breathing mantra, a living triple entendre. We don't follow the trends, we invent and redefine genres. Pride and egos is the realest. Global, not local. Global, not local. Pride and egos.